I'm sure you all know that there's two types of drugs. Legal ones, so you can have these, it's completely fine, it's not against the law. And illegal drugs, ones that are banned by law that you can't have. So legal drugs, what sort of things are we talking about? So caffeine is a type of drug, and you can find it in tea, coffee, energy drinks, and fizzy drinks, and it's a stimulant, so it gives you like a high almost, and gives you loads of energy, makes your reactions more alert. So that's where you can find it. Nicotine, so when you in smoking, cigarettes have a drug called nicotine in, and this is what makes them addictive. And ethanol, which is the drug that makes up alcohol. And then there's illegal drugs: heroin, cocaine, LSD, cannabis, ecstasy, and these can be highly dangerous and can lead to death, which is why they're illegal. So let's have a look. The impact of lifestyle choices on your health and sports performance. We're not going to go through this bit. If you want, you can pause it and have a go. But for the purpose of the revision video, I'm just going to skip on to the next bit. But there are some interesting facts here, so you can pause it and have a look if you want. So ignore that. Right, so alcohol. I'm sure you all know what it is. As you can see on the right, here's some beer in a pint glass. So all alcoholic drinks contain a chemical called ethanol, which is what makes people drunk essentially. It doesn't do much harm in small quantities, however larger quantities are dangerous. So all this means is if you have a little bit, it's okay, but if you have lots of it, it can become dangerous. Alcohol itself puts strain on your body, making you unwell. That's why heavy drinkers may be sick and later suffer from a hangover. But alcohol can have serious effects, both short and long term. So, as you can see here, drinking a lot of alcohol regularly over a period of time is likely to cause physical, emotional, and social problems. Alcohol itself is a depressant, so it slows down your reactions, and a small amount of alcohol can make you feel more relaxed and less anxious. Larger amounts can get you drunk, where you're more out of control, but regular drinking means that you're adding extra calories to your intake without any actual good nutritional value. So that'll mean you'll gain excess weight, so you'll put weight on, and in sport this will affect your performance. You'll perform more poorly in training if you have a hangover, or if you're carrying excess weight, it will make everything much harder. So in many sports it's banned, so alcohol is banned in sports such as shooting and archery, where it may be used as a sedative, so something that makes you kind of like relaxed and slows you down because of its calming effect. Also banned in other sports where there's a safety risk, such as motorsports. You can't drink and drive, I'm sure you all know that, and obviously motorsport involves driving, so there's no alcohol allowed. So as you can see here, this a healthy liver on the top here, and this is an unhealthy liver here. Cirrhosis is what you can get if you drink alcohol, and that's the effect on the liver it can have, making it unhealthy. So over time, what effects does alcohol drinking have? It can affect the brain, can change your behaviour and make it harder to focus and think clearly, and this would also have an effect on your sporting ability. If you can't focus or think as clearly, your performance is going to become worse. It can damage your heart and circulatory system, leading to problems like a stroke or high blood pressure, which is super dangerous. It can increase the risk of developing some cancers, including mouth, liver and breast cancer, and it can weaken your immune system, so you're more at risk of illness and disease. You won't be able to fight them off as easily. So these are the effects of alcohol. Smoking. So this is highly addictive. The more you smoke, the harder it is to stop, because it builds up your levels of addiction. If you try to stop, you'll develop cravings, which is the addiction where you want to have it more, and you'll experience withdrawal symptoms. Nicotine, as we discussed earlier, is the addictive drug, an ingredient within cigarettes and anything you smoke, and is a stimulant which raises alertness. Nicotine is actually a mild poison, so it makes your blood pressure and heart rate rise. When you inhale cigarette smoke, so we know that's breathing in, tar is left behind in the lungs. It's like a black, sort of sticky, horrible sort of thing, and it can cause many serious diseases. So this is what a healthy lung would look like. You can see it's quite pink, quite red. And a smoker's lung, you can see it's become very black from the tar we spoke about, which is left behind. So how does smoking damage your performance and health? Well, other than what we've just looked at with the lungs, carbon monoxide bonds with red blood cells in the same way that oxygen does, except it becomes permanent. So any blood cells carrying carbon monoxide can no longer transport oxygen, and we know we need the oxygen to go to our working muscles when we're exercising. So if the red blood cells can't carry it, oxygen, because they're carrying carbon monoxide, it reduces the amount of oxygen within the blood. This means the heart has to work harder, putting a strain on it and causing circulation problems and putting your heart risk at health. So your heart health at risk. Oh dear, it's getting late, I think. Nicotine raises your heartbeat and blood pressure because it releases adrenaline, and that's why people feel good when they smoke, because it's releasing that adrenaline. Due to the damage of the lungs from smoking, as we saw with the tar, the healthy pink lungs and the unhealthy black lungs, it also makes smokers tired and breathless, reducing their cardiovascular endurance. It can lead to bronchitis, which is the inflammation, so the swelling of your bronchial tubes in the lungs, and we know they carry air to and from the lungs. So if they're inflamed, you're not going to be able to get as much air in and out of them, and that's going to make you breathless and tired. And like alcohol, if you smoke, you're more likely to get lung cancer, that's supposed to say. And it can also be dangerous to be around someone who smokes a lot, because you can suffer from passive smoking if you're inhaling that smoke and be at risk of developing lung cancer too.